Okay, this is a video for how to create number 6 out of the 2.4 multi-view sketching packet. You're going to notice that number 6 up here is in metric. You can see that we are in centimeters. So this is how to go about making this in Autodesk Inventor. So we are going to go ahead and load Inventor. And when you load Inventor, you can click on this white piece of paper in the top left-hand corner to start a new part. And you'll notice there are templates up here, and if we were in inches, we would click on English, but we are in metric, so we're going to click on metric. And over here, you're going to see these parts. You'll notice these are in oblique views. You have a flat front face with the depth projected at an angle. And IPT down here stands for Inventor Part File. So there's different ways to go about creating an Inventor part file. You see you got sheet metal. You'll see you have kind of some different standards, but we're going to go over here and click on millimeter and click on create because we are in metric. You can then click on your pencil, and I usually choose the XY plane to get all of my students on the same page. I have all of my students choose the same plane. Now when we go back to the actual picture here, you're going to notice that we are in metric. Now there's two different methods of part creation in Autodesk Inventor. It is additive and subtractive. So in this case, we are going to do the subtractive method. We are going to draw a large rectangular prism, and then we are going to cut this little surface back here out to create these two ledges. So when we go back to our part, we're going to know the full dimensions of the object. So it's 3 by 5 wide, 3.5 centimeters wide by 5 centimeters tall by 2 centimeters deep. 3.5 centimeters wide, 5 centimeters tall, 2 centimeters deep. We're going to go back to our part, and let's click on rectangle. When I click on rectangle, you're going to see that when I click on my origin, as I drag out, I haven't placed the rectangle, I'm just dragging out. Notice how the 11 millimeters here is highlighted in blue. We had 3.5 millimeters wide, so I'm going to say 3.5. Now I'm in millimeters, we want centimeters, so I can just hit space and hit CM. You'll notice it goes from red when I hit the letter C, and then once I hit M, it understands I want to do millimeters. I'm going to hit the tab button after that. I'm not going to hit enter, I'm going to hit tab. And you know, it's 3.5 centimeters is 35 millimeters. Then the height was 5 centimeters, so we're going to hit 5 cm and hit enter. I'm going to click on the word front on my view cube, and we now have 35 millimeters and 50 millimeters here. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to finish my sketch and click on my house button. So once again, let's go back to that view again. 3.5 centimeters, 5 centimeters tall. The depth is 2 centimeters. So we're going to go back, click on extrude. Should automatically select this object right here as that object, and it was 2 centimeters deep. I'm going to put in 2 cm and hit enter. And you notice I have my block right here. Now you're going to notice that I'm kind of in a little bit of a weird view of the object. Now when we talked about multi-view, the front, top, and side view, right now if I click on the word bottom, that's the bottom of the object. I want to use my arrow and flip up to where I'm looking at this view right here, the front view of the object. Remember, the front view is the most descriptive view of the object, so when we go in and make our cut, that'll make a little bit more sense. Let's go back over to our PowerPoint. Let's take a look. So we need to draw this kind of shape over here, like this. So we're going to draw a line across the top, and we're going to come down a distance of 2. 5 minus 2 minus 1 will be 2. So let's do that together. We're going to click on our pencil, and we're going to click on our front view. Drag my front view down. I'm going to click on the line command. The line is in the top right-hand corner. I'm going to click and drag over until I snap over to here. Straight down, I'm going to put in 2 centimeters. I can just hit enter after I do that. And to the right, let's see how far I'm going to drag over to the right. We have 3.5 here and 2.5 up here. So this distance right here will be 1. 2.5 from 3.5 is 1. I'm going to go back to Inventor. I'm going to type 1 in here. I'm going to make sure I'm horizontal. 1 centimeter. I'm going to enter. Come down a distance. Let's see what our distance down is. Our distance down is 1 centimeter right here. We can see that line right there. We can see this extension line dragging us out to 1 centimeter. So I'm going to do that 1 because I dragged down 1 centimeter. And then now I know that I can pretty much just, looks like it didn't come straight down there. I need to come up here and come to undo real quick. I'll go to line, and I'm going to drag straight down 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, enter, and I have a line down now. Now it should be easy for us. We can just kind of come over and drag until we hit this yellow line. Then I have to click on the end point of this and drag up again and close the sketch. Right click and say OK. You should see a closed sketch. Inventor will not extrude a sketch that is open or a non-closed profile. I always use the analogy of this when I teach my students. If I could pour water inside of this and it would leak out anyway, Inventor will not extrude it. In this case, we're going to do an extrude cut. So we're going to say Finish Sketch, and we're going to click on our House button, and that's automatically going to take us to an isometric view. Let's go back to our PowerPoint here to look at this, and the depth we're going to extrude this back. This is 2 centimeters total deep. We can see this line up here, this dimension line, and this extension line coming out says our extrusion depth for the cut is 1 centimeter. Alt-Tab, I'm going to come back to here, and I'm going to go to Extrude. And this is cut. Now, extrude at the top is like squeezing a tube of toothpaste. You're extruding toothpaste out of the toothpaste tube. That's to make a solid. To subtract mass from the object, we're going to come down here to cut. And when you click on that, you'll notice it's going all the way through because we have 2 centimeters. We want 1 centimeter for our depth. And you're going to notice it's going to cut straight down. And I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to come over here and click on the word bottom, and I'm going to flip this to the word front. And you're going to notice that we now have our front view. We have these 2 surfaces. It's the same that we see right here if we were to look at this. I'm back here in Inventor. Now, when I click on my House button, I notice that I really don't like that isometric view. That's not the most descriptive isometric view. So in this case, I'm going to flip back up to my front view, and you can click on these corners to give yourself different isometric views. Remember, isometric means equal distance. These are all the same angle down here. 360 degrees divided by 3 is 120 degrees for each one of these angles. I want this to stay as my isometric view. I'm going to right click and go down to Set Current View as Home, and I'm going to go down to something called Fit to View. Here's what Fit to View does. When I click on Fit to View, I'm going to zoom out here. And the second I come up here now and click on my House button, it's going to fit that isometric to whatever view you have open. So notice how it automatically brings that right into focus. That's what that Fit to View does. And I can come up here and I can save this. And I'm going to go ahead and save this as activity 2.46 and say save. And you have it saved. Now to put this on a drawing sheet or on anything else, what you would want to do is go back to your Snipping Tool down at the bottom. Go back to your Snipping Tool. Mine seems to be hiding on me here, so I can try to come back down here. Come back down to your Snipping Tool. Now remember, I have mine saved in my tray down here. Yours will be, you can just actually come down here and start typing snip. So when you're in, I'm in Windows 7 right now. You might be in Windows 10 or something else, but anytime you go in any search function, there's the Snipping Tool right there. So all you would have to do is come up and take a snip of that. Let me get this out of the way real quick. I can go up here and just take a snip of this, just drag over the top, and there is your snip of your object, and you can place that on your submission sheet. So that's how to create number 6 out of the 2.4 packet. Have a good day.